Well, hello there, kids and cadets. Welcome to Pop Culture Addicts. We've got a great live show on tap for you tonight. Very excited to have you guys and very excited to have some friends waiting for us in the virtual green room. And Jason, I'm glad that you were waiting and you were not late. We started exactly at 9 o'clock, so pish posh. But anyway, we've got John and Ben with us tonight for the live show, and then we've got some friends from another podcast waiting. But tonight we're going to go to the mall. That's right. We're going to talk about Maul Shadow Lord, the new show on Disney Plus. I am so stinking excited about this. As you know, Maul is my boy. And
do we think he shops at Hot Topic?
Well, only if it's half off.
I mean, if he's going to the mall.
Today.
Let's go to the mall.
Yeah.
Today. Exactly. But yeah, so before we get too much farther, just want to say, of course, now you saw this in the intro video, but we want to say thank you to everyone who supports our show. Not only the viewers such as yourselves, but also Level Up Sabers and Once Upon a Tea. Now you can click the links in the show notes down below, and you can find some nice discount codes there for Once Upon a Tea if you click that link. And they've got some really great nerdy shirts, and we're very glad that they support us like they do. Now, before we get started, we've got a couple movies that we need to make sure that you know about and that you guys know that you can win through Pop Culture Addicts. Now, Mercy, we have physical copies of, and the following movie we have digital codes for. So here it is. Mercy. In the near future, a detective stands on trial accused of murdering his wife. He has 90 minutes to prove his innocence to the advanced AI judge he once championed before it determines his fate. Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson star at the high-tech action thriller Mercy. Own it now on 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD. So, there's that. There's also Scream 7. Scream 7. Fear comes home. Nowhere is safe. Prepare to scream. Buy it or rent Scream 7 on digital now. It'll be a killer time. So now, if you're wondering how you can win copies of these, if you haven't already, it seems like a good time to remind you that you can win free loot by signing up at pcapod.com/contact. Now, if you enter and you win one of these movies tonight or tomorrow or whenever you sign up, that is not the only time you get to win. You can win multiple things at multiple times, and your name's always kept on the list. It's not a one and done. So make sure you get a chance to sign up now. We'd love to be able to help you. Star Wars SafeSpace says Maul definitely hangs out at Hot Topic. Yeah. I have not watched Mercy yet. I'm going to watch it in the next couple days. I'm looking forward to it. You don't want to win, Jason. You have your own codes. Shush.
But he can't give himself his own codes. He wants to win codes from you.
Oh.
So if you both sign up for each other's email list, you can get a code from each other. And
well, no, you can't do that because you can't do that because that's how you cross the codes. Or maybe that's just crossing the streams. Either way, it seems
you don't cross streams, but you can cross codes.
Oh. Okay.
That's
Well, that's good to know.
You always go at least 5 steps down river before you. Anyway.
All right. Well, on that note, just remember to sign up pcapod.com/contact. In the meantime, while you're considering doing that, say hello to our guest for tonight, Star Wars SafeSpace. There's their @ Make sure you go say hi to them. Say hi to Tommy and Crash from the Star Wars SafeSpace show.
How's everybody doing?
All right.
Great.
Hey, everyone.
How about you?
I just got done with work, so I'm exhausted, but I'm excited to talk about things.
Hey, but you got a bowl full of nudes there, so you're doing all right.
I do have some nudes available. They're in the bowl.
What?
They're mostly out.
Oh.
In the bowl.
Family show.
Find out of the gutter.
I was looking at the comments and I hear Ben say, I have nudes available. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
We are family friendly, good
Wait,
sir.
but Tim, why were you nervous?
Other nudes, like
why are you nervous about that?
I mean, I like Ben, but I don't need to see his nudes. All right, so
wait, you don't want these nudes, or would you prefer pool noodles?
Anyway,
yes, either way.
Not the size of the
Now
nudes.
I
Yeah, bills have to be paid somehow. That's right.
Mhm.
We
There you
need to
go.
buy more Tiamats. Anyway,
Didn't
Okay.
we decide that Edna was setting up like an only Wookiees or something like that?
Yes.
she has to shave first.
Not necessarily. Not if it's only Wookiees. I think
Just
no
the feet.
shaving required.
Just around the toes so you can see the toenails. Anyway, so that seems oddly specific. All right, so on that note, Tommy, Crash, take the
I feel
microphone
like a
away from me.
psychiatrist. That's very
say-
interesting. Tell me more.
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about. All right, so tell everybody about Star Wars SafeSpace and why they should be checking you guys out, and so I can stop talking.
All right, so Star Wars SafeSpace. So you're a talker, and you're going to have a talker talk more. So that's good. Star Wars SafeSpace. We created Star Wars SafeSpace. It came out of this thing called Circle of Nerds that we did for a long time, and because we love Star Wars, our tagline is we absolutely love Star Wars, even if we don't always like it. And we are here to help combat the fandom menace. That is our goal. And what we kind of do is we really kind of try to appeal more towards, newer fans or fans that we like to call Swarzy curious. Maybe they're not super into Star Wars. They've heard about it, things like that. But we found that there's a lot of people that won't get into Star Wars or are a little bit apprehensive because of all the backlash from the fandom menace. So someone's like, you know what? I watched that Acolyte show and I really liked it, but I don't have anywhere to talk about it. So we want to create that safe space where people can come and, give varying and opposed opinions in a safe environment where they feel comfortable doing that without, can we swear on this podcast? Is that okay?
I don't care.
Okay. So without being pooped on,
There you go.
by the fandom menace, we'll keep it clean. And that's really the premise. And so we're watching everything in chronological order. And we're doing that for the benefit of, our Swarzy curious folks, so if people are watching Star Wars for the very first time, come on board with us and you're going to see it in chronological order, which is arguably not necessarily the best way to watch it. But we have found that watching it in chronological, it does build up more emotional value. We're finding that as we're watching this in chronological order this way, there's a lot more emotion at stake. There's more investment in terms of character development. What I'm most excited about on this journey is Ahsoka, because we're doing it in chronological. We literally get to see her as an infant, thanks to Tales, and we're going to see her entire journey up to where we are now. So, but that's Star Wars SafeSpace in a very large nutshell.
And I joined the show after a year or so ago. And as a fan, I liked what these guys were doing. I've been around the Star Wars fan community, the online community, the fan groups for about 20 years now.
And he wouldn't go away, so we just had to bring him on the show.
Yeah.
That was me.
It wouldn't shut up in the comment section. So I said, you just want to come on, Crash? Sure. But, and I totally love the vibe of these guys. I love what they're trying to promote, the positive, open, friendly side of Star Wars, not the rage bait engaging Twitter hexscape that it is. I go out to conventions a lot, and I've met a lot of the Star Wars guests, fan groups. I go to Disney parks. I'm getting ready to go to California for Star Wars night they have out there. And I like to report on what's there, and I take a lot of pictures. People I find interesting, people with great cosplays, people that just are enjoying themselves, and it doesn't have to be like top notch. Oh my gosh, you stepped right off set. But if you're just living your best life and enjoying the ride, as I like to say when we talk about these shows, that's what I really love about being part of this group.
And Crash and I, we were both involved with the 501st, Rebel Legion, Mando Mercs, all those guys. So, we've been able to see these things from both sides. We're not going to get into it because that's a whole other podcast, but it's interesting being part of the different fandom groups, and also being being part of the charity side of things. We did a lot of great work, in the 501st and the Rebel Legion. Like the 501st says, good guys, or bad guys doing good. And that was always one of our favorite things to do is, go to the children's hospital, bring the cons to the kids that can't get out, to do those. So, yeah.
And a lot of the people I meet out in the cons and out in the verse on our Facebook page, they're new to this fandom, and in a lot of ways they're intimidated by the side. I've had a lot of people. I share a lot of war stories back and forth with Tommy, and a lot of people, they say, well, yeah, I see them out where I live, and I don't know if I could do something that big. I mean, I've worn a production-made Darth Vader stunt costume from Return of the Jedi. I was loaned it by a guy who had a medical emergency. That's like, you're not just riding in the Cadillac. That's Elvis's Cadillac.
And that's another thing. And it just shows that, cosplay and fandom is for everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can wear that screen used, costume, or you can put together, a full kit of Beskar out of cardboard.
Yeah.
It's for everyone. Just celebrate your fandom your way.
Some of the best costumes I've seen are
Go ahead, Crash.
homemade. I was going to say, some of the best costumes I've ever seen are homemade.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're not entirely, they may not be perfectly screen accurate, but the person wearing it is so proud of what they put together, and I love them for it.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite ones. That's what I was going to say. The people that come to Comic-Cons and they have put their heart, soul, and effort. I would rather see a homemade one that's not exactly mint versus somebody who, paid thousands of dollars to have something made, pressed for them. And, there's a difference of the heart that goes into it. And you can see this person has put their heart and soul into that. And absolutely, there's a passion there.
And it's the same way with toy collectors, memorabilia collectors. Tim was on our show last week, and we were talking about vinyls. I know you guys do a lot of vinyl hunting. I had to dig this guy out of the archives, and he showed me his because look, and I got the Empire Strikes Back one, Twin A.
All right, when we go to commercial, I'm going to go grab mine because everybody else has got their vinyl out. So let me know when we go to commercial.
Do we go to commercial?
Wait,
there's
money?
And that's the thing.
There's money?
Even the music of it, even if you just popping in a CD or an old vinyl record, the Star Wars music alone is just an experience.
Yeah.
Crash, they're never going to let us talk again. We've just rambled for like 10 minutes.
It's all good. One of the things that I love about the Star Wars fandom, once you get people away from realizing that the fandom menace is not the primary of the fandom, is that getting them to appreciate that you don't have to be a fan of everything inside of Star Wars. There are things inside of Star Wars that I'm not exactly a fan of, even inside of things that I love. Like I love Clone Wars, but there are episodes that I can very happily skip because they just don't
Like
matter.
Combat Jedi?
Yeah.
Droid Squad. Yeah.
Droid Squad, absolutely. 100% Droid Squad gets skipped.
Okay, but those ones for my 7-year-old are awesome.
Right.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
they're great. It's
almost like they were
that's
made
great.
for children.
Ridiculous.
Exactly.
Can I just say one thing? I'm sorry. Can I just say one thing about, like we're talking about people getting intimidated or thinking that they can't love something or like something, and speaking of the fandom menace, they're so loud. They're in the minority, clearly. They're so loud. And one thing that I've been trying to do is just to be unbothered by them. And the way that I'm doing that, and hopefully if anybody else is out there is bothered by these people or intimidated by these people, just try to remember we're winning. Like, they're so loud and they complain so hard about all of, Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dead. Star Wars, it's a dead franchise. As we know as fans, Star Wars has been dead. I don't know how many times. I mean, the fandom said that it died when the special editions came out. I mean, people complained about Return of the Jedi when it came out. So Star Wars has been dead 5 times, 6 times, but at the end of the day, we're winning. We're still getting great Star Wars content. Whether you like all of it or not is irrelevant because we're still getting Star Wars content.
And the kids like us that grew up with Star Wars are now making Star Wars. Dave Filoni grew up with Star Wars, and look where he is now. And I'm not one of those people that every fan film director is equal to a Dave Filoni. Like, okay, it's okay to work in a small playground, a smaller part of the sandbox, and just have fun with it.
So we're winning. So just don't
we're winning.
We're winning.
Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy what you love.
We're still getting Star Wars. All right, I'll shut up.
Oh, for sure.
You're good.
No, you're
Real
absolutely
quick,
fine.
Tim, I just sent in the chat a bunch of photos. Those are someone I used to be neighbors with back in Connecticut. They
Ron Burgundy?
handmade. Why is
You were friends with Ron Burgundy? That's awesome.
no?
He's kind of a
I
big
was-
deal.
I was.
He
I
has
was
many
neighbors
leather-bound
with
books.
I was neighbors with
Smells of
someone
rich mahogany.
Oh fuck.
Who gave you a
Sorry.
soundboard?
No, that
Sorry,
was
Ben,
Tommy.
go for it.
I was friends and neighbors with someone who handmade an entire Darth Vader costume, including a separate helmet with the gash across it.
Oh my!
And we did with a professional photographer.
Oh, God.
We did Darth Vader hunting down 2 rogue Jedis, and I just sent you a couple pictures from it. Tim,
I'm
if
going
you
to
wanna
put those
throw
up in
those
one
there.
quick second.
That's awesome.
This is from
When you
an
get the
excerpt
chance.
from my this is an excerpt from my article that went live today on Couch Soup. This is how I ended the article. Don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy.
That's fair.
And just saying, so I'm talking about, whatever we get from this, there's been a second season added and everything. I said, so I'll be happy with what I get, even if it's not exactly what I wanted. Maybe that's the lesson here. Learn to be happy with what you're given, even if it's not what you wanted. It's okay to dislike this show if it doesn't hit your marks. Just don't yuck someone else's yum. Don't be that guy.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
I'm happy to get content. You know, I mean,
compared to that gap from like 1983 to 1992,
thank you.
where
That
there was
8-year
nothing.
span where there's nothing but the books that are now decanonized. But so
There's
I'm
Hey,
happy
I
to
love
read.
those books.
Same.
Okay.
We grew up with the EU. That's our headcanon now. So
Right.
Oh yeah.
of course we're gonna be
Which I
disappointed
am.
on some things. Oh my god!
Look
that
at
fan
he
mail.
made that by hand.
Wow.
that is
None of
freaking
that was-
amazing.
He vacuum formed and made
Mm.
all the models necessary for it.
Mhm.
Look at how great. By the way, the Jedi is me, and I'm getting my butt handed to me in this photo.
Can
Literally,
you get
he's
the video?
grabbed my lightsaber and is pushing me down.
That's
I want to see
awesome.
the
At,
video,
like, a-
man.
I'm at a 45-degree angle, just oh,
That's great. That looks really
Ooh.
good.
oh yeah.
That is really good, man. That is
Yeah.
really, really good stuff.
You said that's all vac formed. He did all that himself.
He did everything.
The leather work too. The bodysuit, everything.
Every top to bottom, down to the shoes.
All right, that's a
That's-
talented person right there.
That's
This is one
freaking
of those
amazing. That's
things-
what that is.
Yeah.
There is a photo from, I think it's Comic-Con right after Star Wars came out. And there was a woman there in a full screen accurate starfighter suit for the Rebellion.
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw from
She
1977, right?
She
Yeah.
watched the movie
Mhm.
with pencil and paper and a flashlight, writing down notes, seam allowances,
Mhm.
icons. Where's the zipper? Is there a zipper? All these other things. The fact that cosplayers are willing to go to that extent. I mean,
Says
there
something.
are trailers of movies that come out, and a week later, someone has the costume.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a guy, his name's Woodchuck. And this guy's been, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah,
I do.
He's been in the cosplay community for years and years. I have a Woodchuck Verpine Mandalorian rifle up there on my wall. The guy is amazing. The stuff that he's able to do with woodworking is out of this world. He's done the same thing for the Mandalorian and Grogu. He started to build actual real wooden stocks based off of the weapons that we're seeing, the blaster rifles, the carbines that we're seeing from the trailer. And he's not going to release them until the movie comes out so he can make sure that they're accurate. And it just blows my mind. Like you said, and then and how spoiled are we now? You've got this lady in 1977 who built this
Don't say it
amazing-
like that. You make me feel so
Oh,
old.
my back hurts now.
Well, hey, you know what? I tell people I was born in the late 1900s. So that's where,
I've had
But-
actual kids say that to me because I'm a 90s kid. I'm not that old.
well,
Today's
think I'm
episode
young.
is brought to you by lower back pain, tears, and Jameson, because that's what I'll have to drink to forget this. So,
so we're spoiled because now we can screenshot things, we can pause things, we can,
Right.
and she was, like you said, in the theater, had to watch it multiple times, taking notes.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, beautiful.
Oh.
she got to see it in the theater. I'm jealous. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
fair.
All right. So, as much as I'm
Good
enjoying
point.
talking about cosplay, we actually do have a topic for tonight. So, I think it's about time that we remind everybody that there are spoiler alerts ahead for Maul Shadow Lord. Now that released today on Disney Plus. It is a Star Wars animated series that takes place shortly after the conclusion of Order 66 and the events of Season 7 on the Clone Wars. So tonight we are going to talk about my boy Red. That's right, Darth Maul. And he may not technically be a Darth anymore, but he's always gonna be a Darth to me, damn it. Anyway, so yeah, I am very excited to talk about this show and everything else. But other than the fact that it hit Rotten Tomatoes 100%, what's everybody's take on it? George, Crash, and Tommy, y'all want to go first?
After you, boss.
Oh, okay, thanks. I am not a fan of Darth Maul or Maul. I appreciate the work that Sam.
It was nice to have Tommy here. He apparently had some technical difficulties.
I knew that was going to happen.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Where you got to push that button. I need that button for our
Man,
show.
you hit that fast. You hit.
Literally, you were about to go into your butt explanation. And then
Right,
suddenly
I was. It's like not Darth Maul as the character, but Darth Maul. Like if I knew Darth Maul in real life, I would not like that guy because like he's a great villain,
Oh, for sure.
but he is the best. Like he reminds me of a Bond villain because he's so arrogant and he overreaches so much. Like when we were watching it tonight, after Nicodemus and was it Varius, the two crime bosses, they got into it.
Vario.
Yeah, so Vario and
I think it's like
Nicodemus.
Fargo.
When they got into it, and Maul is like, you know what? Grab that guy, finish him.
Mhm.
I was like, no. Let it play out because now you're introducing yourself into the mix. You just earlier were like, no, I want to stay in the shadows. But now you and your crew are going out and you're just drawing more attention to yourself. I was like, Maul, no, hang back a little bit. So that's what I mean when I say I don't like Maul. Is like he overreaches, and that is ultimately what gets him. But as a character that works because he is like most villains, he is a cautionary tale. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the show, I like it. There were some really cool Blade Runner vibes that I was picking up in there. There was some little cyberpunk lighting, things like that. So obviously it's Dave and his animation, and animation was beautiful. The action, the chases, so far so good. So far I have no complaints about the show at all. It's but it was, and I like, and what we were talking about earlier, how like, a trailer comes out and like 2 weeks later you're seeing things, cosplayers, I was pausing it because Lawson's, his weapon, his pistol shoulder rig, you know what I'm talking about? I don't think we've seen that in Star Wars before.
No, we haven't.
So
I've never seen the hidden holster.
So
no.
I don't know if we've seen that before, but
not that particular style, but we have seen ones where the
crossbody,
crossbody or like going straight down. There's been like a blast,
not like this, not like that classic, cop sort of thing.
The detective holster,
right? Yeah. Well, I have two. I'm working on two new blasters, two DC-17s for my Mando kit, and I saw that, so I was pausing it so many times and taking screenshots of his shoulder rig from different angles because I'm so glad that that's now canon. So I don't have the skills to work that. But anyway, Tim, yes, I think it's a great show so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of it.
All right, cool. Crash?
I'm very excited for this show, and I'm not a huge Darth Maul fan, but I like where this is heading.
How come he didn't get kicked out?
I thought we were going to do the bit again.
No, because he got to the point faster where he said he didn't like it. You kept going on, and so
All right, that's fair. That's
I wasn't expecting Crash to just
right.
Oh, don't worry. I have two words that can set him off. I won't do it because
I'll take it out on you.
He'll beat me up on our show this week.
Yeah,
but I like Darth Maul. I like what they did with Darth Maul in Clone Wars, where he's Freddie Prinze Jr. said in another podcast. Yeah, he's Sisyphus. He's doomed to fail.
Yeah,
but and, the thing I picked up on today was that these first two episodes, it's very much he is living out what Sidious trained him to do.
Mm-hmm.
You throw him in the middle of a conflict, like, Maul has decided he wants to become a crime lord. So what does he do? He disrupts a pair of gangsters to fight amongst each other, so he can off one of them. One of them gets off, and then he takes control of the other one to take back what he believes is his.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Palpatine is trying to take the galaxy by setting the Republic against the Separatists, Maul is trying to set the crime lords together to bring back the Shadow Collective that he lost.
Because he's a spoiled little baby. That's why. He's
and it's great watching him try to be this big crime lord.
Tim, don't kick me out because I said he was spoiled, please.
No, you got to go stronger than that, so we're good.
You got to learn to butter up to the host. What do you think?
What was
Go
that
ahead, Ben.
noise? It is crazy that Darth Maul, if he got past his own ego, I don't think anyone could beat him.
I agree.
He would be the most powerful, most just disastrous force in the entirety of the Star Wars universe. He would be unstoppable if he didn't step on his own feet and trip and fall every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He is kind of the Wile E. Coyote of Star Wars, isn't he?
He really is.
A genius. Everything he does is a genius plan, genius technique. Everything is perfect until someone goes, I could do it better, and then he gets angry and tries to kill them, and that is his own downfall.
Yeah, it's that ego. That's why he's like a Bond villain. I mean, it's like he cannot.
He sets himself up for failure
every time.
It's very much the Sith mentality. He's where there's always the strive for greatness but falling short of the mark.
Yeah.
But there's also the issue of he has a fractured vision of himself and who he is and what he is. And a lot of that comes from the way that he was discarded by Sidious. And so I think that he's always trying to prove to himself and in some ways Sidious that he is still worthy and able to be all the things that he was thought to be during the Phantom Menace era. Yeah. And so he's still trying to reach those goals. And I think that what we see in episodes 1 and 2 is a lot of that. We're seeing him looking for his apprentice, the way that he sets things up, tries to play the long game, with these crime bosses and everything else. It's kind of interesting the way that he sets it up. Whereas he could have just walked in there, give him a little flashy stick with the red laser sword, and could have been done with this 5 minutes ago. But that would also, screw me out of about 8 more episodes, I think.
And look at his past. I mean, how much, if we want to, give him all a little sympathy, the amount of trauma that he's been through in his life.
Sure.
Him and Savage were just kind of chilling on the farm. I mean, granted, it was like a slave farm for the males of Brax, but hanging out, having a good time. And they were kidnapped, tortured, had experiments done on them. They had the green voodoo energy pumped into them. And then they were used the rest of their lives. They were completely used. And Tim, like you said, completely discarded. So, yeah. And we know also, he was already cracked and mental before, all of his lowers were
removed.
Or he went to the half off sale at the mall. Yes.
But that's one of the things that he's still that creepy spider guy in the caves.
Is. Yeah.
All of the things he would say of just like, I am nothing, I am failure, things like that. He still has that in his head. Yeah, you're right. He's not saying it out loud anymore, which was really cool to see when he was. It's still in there. It's still getting at him. Yeah. He still got spiders in the brain.
They played it in the trailer, and I can't wait to see it. But one of the things I'm looking forward to is, did you guys hear the Sith mantra? It's very similar to I want with the Force is with me. The Sith version is much more possessive.
Yes,
I master the Force. The Force bends. There's something to that effect. So when I heard that, right away my brain went, "Ooh, they got a mantra too." And I'll bet that's it's like the I am filth, I am nothing. Break your chain. Darth Maul would be a genius if he could just get out of his own damn head. Yeah, he's got to get out of his own way.
If he was trained as a Jedi, he would be he would be considered the chosen one. He would have been better than Anakin.
Yeah.
Like if he
Maybe.
was taken up by the Jedi, with his brain and his level of determination,
Well,
if it was turned to good, imagine what he could have done.
of all the AI slop videos out there, the one I would almost tolerate watching is I want to see, this guy was trained by Darth Sidious, Papa Palpatine, as we like to call him on our show, the master
Good old Papa
manipulator. And I'm
Palpatine.
like,
Good old
what did I want to see? What did this kid pick up along the way, and why is he so bad at it compared to his mentor?
Well,
'Cause
that's
he just
also,
I like to call him Captain Sparkle Fingers, but
I prefer the joke of your friend Palpatine and your pal Friend Patine.
nice.
No, okay.
No.
Put the soundboard away. But with what you were saying, Crash, that is the Sith way, to never teach fully.
Yeah.
The Jedi
Oh, you always
give
gotta hold back.
everything to their apprentice, but the Sith, they always hold back the little tricks. That's why Darth Vader could not do what Sidious could do. Because Vader was already strong in the Force, and he went, I'm just going to teach you to use anger, and you'll be good enough, but you won't be able to beat me.
Right.
Because he was
'Cause in
scared.
Because when we were watching Clone Wars, at the very end of season 7, as Order 66 is unfolding, it was like Maul heard a hum of the melody and went, "Oh,
Mhm.
I know this song.
Mhm.
This is what my master was been playing all these years." And the chords are lined up and everything's in its proper place, and now it's happening. And here I am on the sidelines again.
Mhm.
He wants back at the big kids table. He just can't find a way to get out of his own way.
And I think too, we're definitely seeing that, and it's even shown in the first 2 episodes, pretty much on display. Maul's emotional state, where he's at, his mental state, where he's at, and we have to keep in mind too that we've got a couple years slide until he goes and meets his doom at Twin Suns and Rebels, and so we're watching that slow decline. He got built back up once he got the green magics put into him. And now he's on this slow mental decline to the point where he's going to yell, Kenobi in the desert. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this show transitions us from Clone Wars to Rebels and the introduction of him to Rebels. I'm hoping that there's a nice handoff, because in my opinion, the show starts off really well, hearkening back to things that happened in Clone Wars, wanting to get back to the Collective and the Shadow Collective and all these things. And the fact that Rook Cast is there from Mandalore, still loyal to him and everything else. It says a lot about, the connection between Clone Wars and what's happening in this show. Now I'm hoping that once we get to the end of this series, whenever that should be in 12 years to 15 years of seasons, that I'll take as much Maul as I can get.
No, that's too
that
much.
we have a nice handoff. That we have a nice handoff from this show to Rebels, and how that transpires till Maul meets his doom.
Well, we have a 15, 16-year gap between Clone Wars and when he shows up in Rebels, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
think
We
so.
have 15 years that we could really play
Lots
this
of time.
out.
We're not doing
Lots
a
of time.
season a year. That's going to be way too much.
It'll be a season every other year, knowing how things actually work anymore.
Even Tony Gilroy's like, that's a little ambitious, guys. No.
Shush your mouth, Ben.
Oh, wait, hang on. Let me just.
There we go. Much better.
Tim, you'd mentioned Rook. Was anyone else getting Ursa vibes from her? From the original Superman movie, remember the 3?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. While I was watching, I was like,
Huh.
She kind of feels like Ursa a little bit, just like some of her mannerisms and her accent, and even her look. She kind of looks.
I think it's the hair.
The
The hair
hair.
definitely
Yeah.
sets it up, and
Yeah.
then everything else just kind of adds to
just
it.
kind of like
I never thought of that, but now that you mention it, yeah,
you
I
won't
can
be
see
able
it.
to unsee it. You won't.
I
Be
will.
able to-
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to ask Vanessa
Yeah.
Marshall that. That's
But one of
Vanessa
the
Marshall's
things
the
I-
voice actor for that one.
Oh yeah.
For
One
Rook,
of the
yeah.
things I hope, because because Tim, you brought it up, how they would transition from Maul
Yes.
to Rebels. Literally, last episode has to be him going to the Sith Temple and going, "I will wait for my apprentice."
Yeah.
Because
At
it's
the
kind of
very
the
least.
only way it can end without adding more questions.
Very true.
Right.
And it's Dave, and
Speaking
we know
of-
there could be people from. We're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
the whole Ghost crew will show up at some point. Commander Wolf, Captain Rex, they're all going to be in there. Bad Batch will be in there.
There will
somewhere.
There will be tie-ins for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
I mean, we already
One of the things
saw,
I love about
oh God, why can't I remember his name?
Who?
Oh God, from the Bad Batch, glasses.
Tech.
Oh,
Tech.
Tech.
Heck,
He won't-
jeez,
he won't be
why
making
did
it
my
there.
brain delete that?
Because
I have
because
Because they
ADHD.
deleted
Oh well,
Tech?
yeah, he's dead.
it was that's how you're coping from that trauma. Like that's
I removed the memory.
Yeah.
But usually what they do in the beginning, kind of like opening thing to be like Star Wars, is they have random character heads to
Yeah.
show who is in the show.
Mhm.
We
Tech
see
is in
the
that intro
Inquisitor
montage.
that'll be later on, so
Right.
Tech might pop up.
Yeah, Tech was definitely in the intro montage, so of the different faces and helmets and things. So, here's a
We
question
didn't see
for
the
you.
body.
Though.
We never saw the body. So
It's true.
We also don't
That's
know
what
when this is happening.
That's what I said when
Like-
Tech dropped. No body, no death. Okay, so
Just like Palpatine.
Just like Maul.
yep.
Oh God,
It's almost it's poetry. It rhymes.
It's Star Wars. No body,
It's Star Wars.
no death.
It used to be nobody stayed dead except for Bucky and Uncle Ben.
And then Bucky came back.
And then Bucky,
somehow Bucky returned. Yeah,
Who's Bucky?
exactly. All right, so here's a question for you. We were talking about Maul's apprentice. There's been a lot of rumor and speculation about the young Jedi that we see in the first 2 episodes, the young female Jedi, that will eventually become Darth Talon, also a Twi'lek. What are our thoughts on that? Do we feel like this is a possibility that we are witnessing the birth of Darth Talon?
No.
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 Isn't there like 1,000-year time span between Darth Maul and actual Talon? Like in the
100 some
book?
years. Yeah.
Because this is like, Talon is like way in the future. Way in the future. That's during like the
Right.
This is about
That-
as
That's like
racist.
4 generations of Skywalkers away.
It's like
This is fanboy angst at its best, because you can tell the guys that they just want the hot, Twi'lek Sith chick in the bikini armor, with laser swords. That always ends well. It's like, God forbid we create an interesting character of the same species.
right.
It's a Jedi that can, I'm curious how this situation with, Maul trying to tempt her into being his apprentice, much like he did Ezra Bridger. He's Maul reminds me a lot of Soul in that he's so desperate to have an apprentice that he is trying to reshape the events around him. Hey, Tony's
Tony.
Hi,
one of our
Tony.
co-hosts. He couldn't make it on because he hadn't watched the episodes yet, but he was at work. But he wanted to chime in. So, what's up, brother? Yeah, Maul is looking for an apprentice. Because he lost his brother to Sidious.
Right.
He feels like to rebuild that Shadow Collective, he needs his subordinate apprentice. The number 2. He's number 1. There has to be the number 2. So he comes across this Twi'lek, and he says he's having vision. He's the worst online dater ever. Where he's like, I feel we had a connection. You just stumbled into her at a prison.
He swipes right on everything.
She validates him as a master. We already discussed. He thrives on his ego. So by
Right.
him having an apprentice, it validates him and makes him seem important to Sidious. Because I do agree. I agree that he does want to be back, in the fold with Papa Palpy, but he needs that validation. He needs to be able to say, "Hey, look, Dad, I've got an apprentice too. So let's kill her. And then I can come back and hang out with you." So
I think it's also more superficial than that, where I think it's literally just him going, "But I want to be the master."
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
With that too. Yeah.
It's the childish, notion of when you're a kid.
the
You're like, but I
validation.
need to be an adult. He, like
He
you
needs
said
the
before, he
validation.
wants to be at the adult table.
He's the brat prince. That's exactly what he is. He is the brat prince.
Okay, so let me ask you this about the eventuality and possibility of it being. Let's play devil's advocate for just a moment here. Now, Darth Talon was in the is considered Legends now, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So with it being Legends, and we've already seen this with other things, we have moved around timelines on other things out of Legends to pull into Star Wars. What would stop them from doing that now and moving Darth Talon to this timeline?
Nothing. But I don't think it's
Basically
necessary.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, like they brought Thrawn back, but I mean it's Thrawn. I mean that's such a great character, and that makes sense
Right.
to bring him back the way that they brought him back. So that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And they kept him in the same part of the timeline.
Sure.
They just fudged the details.
Yeah, they just he's not a new character. They didn't like bring him back, and twist him around. They just played with the timeline a little bit, and that's fine. I thought, and he was a great character, a fan favorite. Talon's a fan favorite for the Gooners. So, and there's so
I think that's the first time that's been said on the show.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I think so. First use of Gooners in.
Well, and I agree.
Pop
Let's put it this
culture
way: other than her ensemble, what is the defining act?
Oh no, Tim, do you not know what that is?
No, I'm just making sure it's what I think it is.
Just go to Urban Dictionary.
It is.
I'm not going to Urban Dictionary, John. That is not happening.
It's
You
Um,
need to go to Urban Dictionary. Just look
I'm
it up
pretty
online.
sure
It'll
that-
pop up. You'll get
I'm
some
pretty
feature-
sure it is what I
turn
think it is. I
space
just
search off.
so,
Yeah.
Darth Talon is obviously very much a fan service character.
Yeah.
So that's basically people that that really are
Self-service
into those
character?
fan service characters. Those are like the Gooners.
Because whatever happens with this new Devin Zara, if I said that right, whether she
Possibly.
responds to Maul or she's tempted by Maul's offer, she's with her. I assume this is her master she's traveling with. So there's already this like
Jedi Master Splinter. That's why I've been
Yeah,
who I have
I love
I
that
have-
he's just got a pipe. It's
Yeah.
just a pipe.
and we know
Who
that
I have-
obviously there's going to be a choice to be made by her. But I guarantee you, what's going to happen is the Phantom Menace is going to, if she doesn't strip down to chainmail leather bikini, they're going to say bad writing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
My only comment to that is the fact that she's a child.
Yeah.
Like that matters to them. Hermione Granger. These guys have no chill.
They did the same things with Ahsoka, and again, child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that
don't
didn't
need a
stop
Darth
him then.
Talon.
It's not going to stop him now.
It won't. It
unfortunately.
won't. But we ultimately we don't need Darth Talon for this. I think that we've got a really good, interesting character with her. I think we'll see, maybe she'll fall. We'll get a redemption arc. Maybe they'll surprise us, but we don't need Darth Talon. So I think Dave's better than that. I don't think that he needs to be that cheap to, go back into the EU and pull out someone from the future. So fingers crossed that she's not Darth Talon, but
I really hope not. But then let's hypothetically say that she is. What are they going to do with her? She's not actually going to be a Darth. Palpatine's still going to be there.
She'll
Vader's
die.
Still going to be there.
I mean,
she's going to get killed in like 10 seconds.
she'll die or she'll be redeemed. But either way, she's dead for the most part.
Tony says, based on the Legends timeline, it doesn't make sense for the Twi'lek girl to be Talon, but you all make an excellent point that they could bring her into canon now, so the timeline doesn't have to fit.
Right.
So there is that.
He's
So
our
the
keeper of the
timeline
holocron, so he's really good about looking up information, cross-reference. Yeah, when we fumble for an actor name or something, Tony's our guy.
Yeah. So if Tony says that it's a possibility, I'm going to say that it's a possibility. I don't think that this is what's happening, but I do see a lot of chatter about it out on the interwebs. John, you look like you had something you wanted to say about all that.
Yeah, I'm just remembering like when the Clone Wars movie came out and suddenly Anakin had an apprentice that wasn't mentioned anywhere else. It was she's obviously got to die. Well, she didn't.
But she didn't, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, same crew here, Filoni took over Clone Wars and kept her going, and now she's beyond. So we don't know where Devin's going to end up. She might die, next episode. I don't know. Or she might end up like, at Luke's Academy.
That would be kind of cool. And then move into live action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
From what we get in Rebels, Darth Maul hints at the fact that he's met Vader before. Not Anakin. He's talking about Darth Vader.
Right.
Yep.
This
think we're
might
gonna
be the thing that happens, that he meets Darth Vader.
We're going to see Darth Vader this series based on some of the things I'm seeing out on the internet.
There's
So-
been some promo posters art released, and
Yes.
not to get too much away, it could be just a passing, oh, how you doing? Hi guys.
We'll get Vader for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
Darth
it might
Vader's
just-
here.
It might just be a Darth to Darth handshake, and one Darth goes this,
We'll go
then
home.
pass in the hallway.
And Dave knows.
Like
That's
John's like,
been a
nope.
fan
Nope, I
fan
read that comic.
checklist moment. It was a great. I forget they called it Star Wars Tales. I think
Mhm.
an old comic book where Maul and Vader met up and had this epic fight, and Vader ended up winning because
Maul would be
Vader.
pissed.
Because plot.
Maul
Yeah.
is
the
the
plot armor was heavy at that, but it
Oh.
gave a lot of fan service, cool panel art, and everybody. The red blade on red blade action has been getting really intense ever since Clone Wars, and they realized we can't have we have this half the Jedi can't meet this guy, half the Jedi can't meet this guy. So why don't we just have the Sith fight each other and everything looks really cool?
Well,
Yeah.
and Maul had his red lightsaber hallway scene, which I thought was really cool.
Everybody wants to be Daredevil.
Yeah, it really
Can I
did
get the
set a
highest of five for
precedent.
that?
Yeah,
was
that
good.
was good, John. That was good.
There it is. Oh, that
Yeah.
was.
Everyone wants to
That's
see it.
This is drawn by Rick Hoberg, a former guest of ours, and Rick does a lot
Cool.
of really cool work. This
Everyone
was one
wants
of
to
his,
see that
his
fight.
pieces.
And that's a beautiful piece. But yeah, everyone wants to see
Yeah.
this fight. So
Mhm.
I think we'll get it finally because everybody wants it. And I don't think Maul could win it. But
I think Maul could hold his own for a little while, but
Mhm.
Anakin being the chosen one, that he's got the plot armor, so he's going to obviously move forward.
Well,
Um,
it probably will be the thing that drives Maul to Malachor that we find out in Rebel. He's off the radar. The Inquisitors are looking for him. Yeah, it's like in Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Inquisitors, after a while, we're never going to find Obi-Wan. There's no. It's been 10 years. There's no point. I think the same thing's going to happen with Maul, where we saw in this episode. For a guy trying to stay in the shadow, one security hologram, and you're supposed to immediately call Coruscant and go, "He's here. We know you're going to lock down our planet, but that's a standing order to if you see this guy to call us."
Right. And they skipped it right away. They're like, "Nah, we can handle it."
yeah,
No, not bringing in the feds. No,
do
we're
we
not.
do we know
My
the name of
favorite
the
line
planet?
about all of that. My favorite line about all of that was they're like the two boots. The droid is like, "We should call Coruscant. We have to call the Empire." And he's like, "No, this is a local matter. We
Yeah.
can handle this. I haven't seen a laser sword since the Clone Wars, but we can handle this."
Right.
I-
So what do
I
we know
will
what
say
planet this is
as-
yet? It's not because it's not
No
Coruscant.
idea.
It hasn't been mentioned, I don't believe.
Okay.
It's another city world.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I have no idea. What I was going to say is, as the child of a police officer, that is 1,000,000% how it actually happens. They go, "Oh no, this guy's wanted by the feds. Just don't call the feds yet. Wait till we get them in here, and then we'll call the feds."
Right.
Because
we can
otherwise,
do this. We totally got this.
Die Hard. It's the Die Hard feds, and they come out and take over the situation and just completely roll you over.
Ruin it.
Or like in the Matrix, that when Agent Smith rolls up at the beginning, he was
Yeah.
like, "You can take that Juris my diction crap and shove it." That's such a cop thing to say. That's like, I don't care that you're a Fed. We've got this.
Right. Yeah. That was kind of one of the things that just kind of cracked me up. I think it's the unintentional humor that Filoni does slide in some humorous things
Yeah.
from time to time, but a lot of things that kills me, it's the unintentional. So,
And I like
Oh,
I'm really liking Lawson. As being, such a mundane character. I'm really liking this story around him. I mean, it's, we're seeing a potentially divorced family, or at least a
Yeah.
family that's living,
at least split. Yes.
at
separate.
least separated. I really like that. I like that, that we're seeing more the galaxy is more than just good versus evil, Jedi versus Sith. There's so much more. There's, countless worlds, countless inhabitants, and they're all leading lives. And I love this character so far because he's relatable. He's grounded.
Yeah,
and you know who's going to steal the show, honestly? And Tony just mentioned it. Two Boots.
Yeah.
First off, the name alone is just the
I'm surprised it wasn't Alan Tudyk that voiced him, because Alan Tudyk is like the voice of all robots now. So
right,
yeah,
but
a little bit.
It's just the idea that there's we have the gritty human detective, but there's like a bit of a cop comedy to this.
Of course, yeah.
And the two of them, I guess,
yeah.
All right. Tony raises a good point here. Speaking of that scene, it's nice to finally confirm that there is pizza in the galaxy.
Yes!
There has to be. In the infinite cosmos, pizza
Has to
is
happen.
a constant.
Pizza is canon. Pizza is canon, ladies and gentlemen.
Pizza's like gravity. It's everywhere.
It is a universal constant.
Now the question is it stuffed crust or not?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'll stuff you all in the crust. Anyway.
But no, with the point, I love Two Boots as a character because it is the straight man and the funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
You had the same
very much
thing
so.
with K2 and Andor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love his line. He's like,
they
I
saw
don't
that
drink
dynamic
it.
and they went, yes.
I'm just here for the moment. Like,
I can't drink
I'm
this,
just here
but
for the moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, literally turns the cup upside down.
Never get it.
Doesn't move his arm. The wrist just swivels all the way around.
He's
to
like,
show
how's
that
that-
it's empty,
how's that
and then swivels back.
That was nice. How's that?
That was
calf?
peak.
No, I
How's
don't
that
drink,
calf, Two Boots?
right? I don't drink it. I'm just here for the moment.
No,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it has a name. Maul's little like UFO droid.
The spy bot.
a Spybot is in the
Yeah.
credits.
Every time Spybot's on screen, I'm just like, what is this little scamp gonna say now?
It was a
it's
smaller version, I
random
would-
electrical Goebbels, and then every
They
now
were-
and then, like when I can't remember her name, when the Twi'lek was running away while they were escaping the place, he literally goes, "Oh no, you don't," and then stuns her.
Yep.
We've got our Lolas.
Yeah. He very much reminded me of the aliens from Batteries Not Included.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Great callback there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the first thing that I thought of though was the Inquisitor from, was it she the seventh sister? I think she was or fifth
Oh,
sister,
yeah.
whatever.
Her little-
On
her
Rebels,
little droid,
who had
yeah.
the two little flying bots that pop off and go do her deeds, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I thought
love
of.
how human they make the droids.
Yeah.
That's one of my
Yes.
favorite things, especially of Star Wars just in general. But when you have the most human characters being non-humans or not even like non-organics, one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's such a weird movie, is Chappie.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's a great movie. And
I
then
haven't
you
seen
have
that
this.
in a hot minute.
It's such a good movie, but it's also like a what is happening kind of movie. But I love when they make human robots. It's
Yeah.
always my favorite thing.
What I wanted to just expand just real quick on one of the points that Tommy made a couple minutes ago about how we're getting to see the galaxy now. We're getting to see different walks of life, different emotional aspects, different viewpoints of where people were at after, around, during Order 66, and how the transition to the Empire affected them. And so that's one of the things I loved about the series Andor is you got to see real people. There were no Jedis, there were no laser swords. This was just real people in a real conflict and a real struggle against an authoritarian government. I'll get it right.
There you go.
It's words is hard, okay?
It's Monday. Come on.
Exactly. And I love the fact that we're seeing that, and we're seeing it's not just like Tommy said, it's not just the good versus evil anymore. We're seeing different walks, different lifestyles, different personality types, and all these different things. What is one thing that you guys are hoping to see, just because we're running short on time here, but what are we hoping to see out of this series moving forward, whether it's something personality based or something character based?
I think I want to see that handoff you're talking about. I want to see that nice smooth transition into Rebels. I'd be very, very happy about that. I want to see more of Lawson. I want to see what I'm invested in him now as a character and his family. I want to know what happens. I want to know why they're
I
not
want to
together.
see them play lacrosse.
Right.
It's a lacrosse player. I want to see him showing up late to a game. That would be great.
And it's some kind of like an energy ball or something like that, or like a little
Right.
droid ball or something. But that's what I want to see. Obviously, it's the police work that probably caused the split. There's some drama there. I would like to see more of that. I don't want to see him die. I was so nervous when Maul got him. I've been rewatching Game of Thrones recently, so I'm reliving that trauma. So I just assume everyone's going to die at this point now on every show.
You're
So,
dead. You're dead. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead.
So when he went toe to toe with Maul, I was like, oh man, no, not Lawson. So that's what I'm hoping for. I would like to see more about this character, even if it's not a book. I think it's worthy of a book, because again, he's really giving Decker vibes. He's giving those Blade Runner vibes. I like that. He's a great character so far.
Okay. Crash.
Biggest thing for me is I want to see where how does Maul rebuild Crimson Dawn that we see from Solo? We've already had hints about Dryden Voss.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I forgot he was in that.
And the Pikes and all this stuff that we get a brief taste of in live action at the end of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And all it did was really want me to go, okay, what has he been doing all these years under the Empire? Yeah, I know what happens to him in Rebels. I know where his story ends.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know, his first attempt at being a crime lord failed at the end of Clone Wars. And then we see him in Rebels, just a man lost and still obsessed with Kenobi. What's in between? I want to see what's in the meat of that sandwich.
So maybe that's the handoff we'll get. Instead of the handoff to Rebels, maybe we'll get the handoff to Solo.
I would be okay with that as well, because I'll let John say what he wants to see. I'll come back to that in a minute.
Well, no, I want to see that too. I'd like to see that up to that point and then continue on after. Have the Solo appearance be like a fixed moment in time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'd really like to see Maul go to therapy to deal with his inherent narcissism.
Yeah,
I think that would solve all of his problems.
Therapy.
Oh, he gets to therapy. Obi-Wan.
And then Dad said he didn't love me anymore, and he didn't want me as his apprentice. And
Can you show me on the doll where Palpatine hurts you?
I can't. The doll doesn't have a lower half.
it was in my legs. They're not there anymore. Thanks for bringing that back up.
Yeah. I'm just kind of along for the ride. It's going to be interesting.
Okay.
We have these like few fixed points, but they're years down the road, so we can see what's in the sandbox for the creators to play with between now and then.
Okay, cool. Ben?
I'm going to be really nerdy and dumb about this.
Please do.
One of my favorite things when it comes to any world building is that it all boils down to the question of, what do they eat? What do they eat? In every universe, you have to go, okay, but what do they literally live off of? The fact that we now have pizza canonically in Star Wars. That's great.
Because up to this
Give me
point,
more
they
of
eat a
that.
lot of gross stuff, right? They eat ration bars. They eat weird moving soup. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Do they make the cheese out of blue milk?
Yeah, there's the blue
Or
milk.
green
the
milk.
Fun things like that. I want to see Darth Maul, while trying to intimidate someone, cook something.
I need a breakfast
Like that'd be-
Ronto wrap in canon. Make that canon. Disney, make the breakfast Ronto wrap canon. Damn it,
Ben, that is a genius idea, because you have someone come in and it's like when you have that villain doing something mundane, that's such a power play. That is such a power move. He's sitting there, making some mudhorn egg omelets, completely unbothered by your presence, telling you what you need to do.
But it's
absolutely.
It's also mildly threatening because they have a knife. There's fire involved. There's all these other things that he could just be sitting there like, so you're going to tell me where they are. You're going to do all these, like goes off on a whole thing. And then suddenly they just slide over a plate of food and you're like, I'm not hungry.
And then he beats you to death with a cast iron pan.
And then he beats you to death.
Which movie
God,
was it where
God.
Hannibal Lecter was cooking the guy's brain and feeding it to him?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, that's what I want to know what the people of Star Wars actually eat, because you can't just have ration bars forever.
We see a couple banquets, I think, in Andor, right? We see a couple of
Yeah.
Look at Boba Fett. He had a nice
But
spread.
they
Boba Fett did have a nice
hand-wave
spread.
it. There's nothing like actually, like, there's no substance to it. The food just kind of
It's
appears.
there. Right, yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
have things like, even one of my favorite scenes is Yoda biting into the ration bar from Luke and going, "Ugh," and then going and making soup.
Yeah. We see Aunt Beru making something in the food processor.
Right.
Mhm.
But we, I
Just
mean,
chucking in the
that is
vegetables
the
and
thing.
you know. Yeah,
Whatever
absolutely.
that
That's a
device
really good
was.
that's a really good question, Ben, and I will pay more attention to that now because
I was a chef for a while, so I think about food a lot.
I love it though. That's such
And
a genius idea to put Maul in the kitchen.
Mhm.
With an
I'm
apron
sure
or no?
they'll
He needs to have an apron.
He needs to have like a kiss the cook apron.
Just to cook in Arabesh. Like,
Yes, it has to be the most like
oh my god.
innocuous, like innocent
What a
thing.
deep cut. That would be such a
I would
deep
love
cut.
I would love to see him spill oil on his legs and then be like, "Oh, that actually feels really good. I needed that."
He lifts his knee and it just
Kill me.
stops squeaking.
Kill me.
Like
This
right?
oil bath is gonna feel
Squeak the
so
whole
good.
time.
Exactly. So he moves his knee and there's like, "Oh, that squeak's gone."
He's gone.
Oh, I would love that.
Hopefully
Uh,
Dave hears this. I know
Good
Dave is watching, so hopefully he'll take some of these suggestions.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Obviously,
heard
Dave.
us-
Why
you
wouldn't
heard
Dave
us
be
here, Dave.
watching?
Come on.
So
Bring in John
very
Favreau,
much-
make Maul, make food.
I very much want to get to this point.
Yes.
But I also want to get to the point where what John is saying. I very much want to get to that fixed moment in time where it is. So this point is so good you get to hear it twice, and we're echoing a little bit.
I can tell.
But I want to get to that fixed point in time at the end of the Solo movie. I want to see what happens with Kira. I'm invested in Kira's character. I thought she was an amazing character in Solo, and for the many issues that I had with the Solo movie, she was one of the things that I did not have issue with, and I really enjoyed her as a character.
We need
So I'm
more of her.
hoping that we get more of Kira, either in live action or in video, animated. So I'm hoping we see a little bit of her in this series. Like, you know, we're talking about setting up Crimson Dawn again, you know, how that gets all set up and seeing Dryden Voss get brought in. So I'm excited to see all that. So anyway, but yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to moving forward in Maul Shadow Lord. Now, episodes 3 and 4 come out next week, and they release 2 episodes a week until, what is it, May 6th, May 5th, something like that?
May the
I think
4th.
it's supposed to be May 4th.
Are they? Is it ending
Yeah.
on May the 4th? Okay, I knew it was close, but I wasn't positive.
I think the
Um,
last episode, I think it's, how many, is it 8 episodes total?
10.
Oh, it's 10. Okay. So it's,
2 a week.
I think the last episode's supposed to be like a big episode, like a big, like Star Wars huzzah kind
Right.
of moment.
May
It just
1st.
get picked up.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Well, May 1st is our podcast, and we're supposed to have Tim back on. I think that was for the last pair of episodes for Maul, because we were in the middle of Bad Batch, and we're taking a break from Bad Batch to cover this one.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, Tommy, Crash, remind everybody where to find you guys.
We're all over the place at the SWS show. You can find us on all the social medias. We don't post to all the social medias all the time, but you can come check us out live every Friday night at 8:30 on the YouTubes or on Facebook. Or you can listen to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I actually just upload. Crash has been hounding me to post all of our quote unquote lost episodes when we took our 8-month hiatus. I'm posting all of those now to our podcast platform. So
Perfect.
we've got new episodes coming out. So check them out if you'd like.
All right, very cool. All right, and as a reminder, guys, if you weren't here earlier, you have opportunity to win the movie Mercy and Scream 7. And how do you do that? By signing up at pcapod.com/contact. So make sure that you're signed up there. If you haven't done that already, take a chance. You could win one of those movies. You could win something else. Take a chance. Anyway, but yeah. So, as a reminder, this week on Pop Culture Addicts is my interview with Richard Comley. Richard Comley is the co-creator of Captain Canuck. It's a Canadian version. Not even a Canadian version, but a Canadian counterpart of Captain America. It's a really cool comic book, and it's come and gone a couple different times over the years. Had a really cool web series for a while with some amazing voice actors in it. Like really kind of a big deal. So it's a cool story with Richard about how Captain Canuck came to be, and then how he came back a couple different times. And so there's a whole documentary about Captain Canuck being made right now, and he's in the middle of the production of that. So it's kind of a cool story. So check that out. You can find that on all your podcast platforms, and of course here on our YouTube channel. And then secondarily, coming up this Wednesday, Ben might know this person really well.
That's my wife. I'm excited to see my wife.
Ben's wife is an award-winning short story horror anthology writer, and Mimi does some really good work, and she writes really scary things, but she also writes some really pretty things too. She's got some poetry and some other things that she's working on as well. And we went into a deep dive about her love of the Musketeers, D'Artagnan especially, and it was a really cool conversation. And she's got some really good book recommendations out there, seeing as that she is one of the most voracious readers I have ever met in my life.
Oh my God. She devours books. She is currently, as of right now, reading 5 books and literally just bouncing between all of them. It's insane.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can barely get from one TV show to the other.
Yeah.
So,
Say, if I binge a show, I got to start at the first season and work my way through. I can't.
You
same
can't
here,
bounce
brother.
around.
I get it.
I don't know how she does it. She's so smart in a way I cannot comprehend.
Fair.
And then she can't find her glasses on her own face. And I'm just like, there we go. I love her so much. Mimi, if you're watching
Love
on the
it.
bus, I love you very much.
All right, so that comes out Wednesday morning with the title of Horror She Wrote. So check that out again on your favorite podcast platform and here on our YouTube channel. But that's all, folks. That's all we got for tonight. Buddy Jesus hopes you enjoyed our episode and hopes you enjoyed the fun that was brought by Crash and Tommy from Star Wars SafeSpace. We have links and information down in the show notes down below for them. So if you want to find out more, there's their website, their Facebook page, their YouTube page, and their Instagram handle are all down in the show notes. So go give them a click and check it out. And hey, Tony, sorry you couldn't make it tonight, buddy, but we'd love to have you come back on because this was a lot of fun, and I would love to have you guys come back on and talk nerdy with us again. So
this was a blast.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think that wraps us up for the night. Thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. Go check out Star Wars SafeSpace, and may the Force be with you as you continue to live long and prosper. Goodbye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Reference to any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by Pop Culture Addicts. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have questions about this disclaimer, please contact us via email at info@pcapod.com.